Created by the administration of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida on the 23rd of September 1987 from the old Kaduna State, Katsina State occupies an area of 24,192 square kilometers. The state is bounded by Niger Republic to the north, Kano State to the east, Kaduna State to the south, and Zamfara State to the west. It is also strategically located along the Saharan trade routes, which allowed it early contact with the outside world and contributed to the enhancement of commerce, scholarship, architecture, and religion. Architecturally, Katsina gates hold historic relevance in the history of the state, joined by a thick wall called Ganua. Among the gates are Kofar Kwaya, Kofar Sauri, Kofar Durbi, Kofar Marusa, Kofar Kaura, Kofar Endaka, and Kofar Guga.
Ita Ganua wato a fuskance in ka kalle ta gini ne ake a zagaye muhallin al'umma, gari ko ƙauye ko birni. Makasudin yinta shine tsaro. So mu nan ɗin da muka ta zo nan wurinmu sai ya kasance da jama'a suka gane hikimar cewa ai hakan shine hanya mafi inganci wadda in aka kawo hare-hare jama'a za su samu mafaka. Gaba da gano Katsina kau abinda muka ji daga kunya girma kaka don bamu na aka yi masana tarihi na baka da kuma dan abin da magani karance-karance da rubucen masu binciken tarihi suka yi a nuna cewa an fara gina wannan ganuwai a zamanin sarakunan haɗi wato waɗanda suka zo bayan sarkin Katsina Muhammadu Korau. Ana jin a lokacin wani sarki ake cewa Ali Murabot, shi malami ne actually kuma masani ne, shi ya ɗabbaka musulunci kwarai a Katsina da ƙasar Katsina da birnin Katsina da sauran garuruwa. So ana jin a zamanin shi ne da kuma waɗanda suka yi bayan shi wannan ganuwar ta fara. Shi dai shi ake tunanin ya fara asasa ta. Daga nan sai kuma sarakunan da suka zo ba da kowane ya zo akwai wani bangaren da zai ko a ƙara mata girma ko kuma duk shekara a yi mata gyaran da ƙara mata inganci.
The main occupations of the people are farming, traditional handicrafts, and animal husbandry. Maize, millet, guinea corn, cassava, Irish potatoes, yams and beans are the major food crops, while cotton, tobacco, sugarcane, soya beans and groundnuts are the major cash crops. The state is also one of the major producers of tomatoes, pepper, and onions in the country. Apart from crop farming, the state is one of the major producers of livestock such as cows, sheep, goats, and camel. Two tribes, Hausa and Fulani, form the bulk of the indigenous population. Thus, Hausa and Fulfulde are the major languages spoken throughout the state. Administratively, Katsina State is made up of 34 local government areas, and since inception in 1987, has had a total of 10 administrations, comprising of both military administrators and civilian governors. The present governor, Aminu Bello Masari, hails from Kafur local government and came to power in May 2015, having previously been the Speaker of the Nigerian House of Representatives between 2003 and 2007. He was declared winner of the April 11, 2015 state governorship election and was subsequently sworn in as executive governor on 29 May 2015. Katsina State boasts a deep cultural heritage which it imbibes in many colorful festivals, one of which is the Sallah Durbar, staged in both Katsina and Daura. And held during the Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Kabir celebrations. The Durbar is led by the Emir, accompanied by the district and village heads on horseback, donning striking colorful costumes amid singing, gun salute and other displays. The Durbar attracts tourists from within and outside the country. Another important festival is the Gani Festival, which is an annual cultural festival celebrated in the ancient city of Daura. The festival derives its name from the Hausa word Gani, meaning meeting. But with the introduction of Islam, Gani Festival took a new form of an Islamic festival of Eid al-Mawlud to commemorate the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The occasion is celebrated with a colorful durbar, singing, dancing, acrobatic displays, and comedy. Other important cultural practices are local boxing, known as Dambe. The traditional Fulani practice of Shadi or Sharu, and Kokua or traditional wrestling. Now, apart from the city wall and gates, Katsina State is also home to some historical sites which many consider as architectural masterpieces. The Gobaro Minaret is one such example, an architectural wonder located in Katsina city. Gobaro Minaret is part of a mosque which was built in Katsina in the late 14th century. The historical origin of the mosque could be attributed to the introduction and spread of Islam in Hausa land and the contribution of Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Karim al-Maghili. What now remains of the Gobaro Mosque is the minaret, which has been preserved for historical purposes. The minaret is a large block of solid masonry at base. The minaret has a large block of solid masonry at its base. There are steps at the northern and eastern sides, which lead to the top of the minaret. The middle block is built on its vertical axis. Because of the importance of the minaret as a historical landmark, the federal government of Nigeria has put it under the protection of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments. Kusugu Well is also another important historical landmark in the state. The well is of great historical importance to the Hausa people because of its link with establishment of the Sarauta system in Hausa land. According to historical tradition, Kusugu Well was discovered in the 7th century during the reign of Queen Daurama, who was said to have shifted the capital of Daura Kingdom from Tsohon Birni to the present Daura town as a result of the newfound source of water. At present, Kusugu Well is preserved as a historical site and monument. Many tourists from within and outside the country visit it. The sword and knife which Bayajidda reportedly used in slaying the snake that inhabited the well, and the royal drums of his wife, Magajia, form part of the royal regalia of Daura and are preserved in the palace of the emir. The water in the Kusugu Well has never dried up till this day. The Emir's Palace, Katsina, is the official residence of the Emir of Katsina. It was built in the 15th century and was constructed in the typical Hausa architecture. The Katsina Royal Palace, Gidan Korau, is a huge complex located in the center of the ancient city. It is a symbol of architecture, culture, history, and traditions of Katsinawa. According to historical account, it was built in 1348 AD by Muhammadu Korau, who is believed to be the first Muslim king of Katsina. This explains why it is traditionally known as Gidan Korau, or House of Korau. It is one of the oldest among the first-generation palaces in Hausa land. The rest are that of Daura, Kano, and Zazzau. And then there's the Emir's Palace in Daura. This palace was built in the 7th century during the reign of Magajia Daurama. The Palace of Emir of Daura is a beautiful edifice located at the center of the town. Traditions indicate that the palace was built by Magajia Daurama shortly after she moved the capital of the kingdom from Tsohon Birni to the present Daura city. The palace was constructed in the typical Hausa architecture, using sun-baked bricks, mud, and local rafters known as azara. The palace contains a large zauri or main entrance and several inner apartments or chambers. This is Katsina, the home of the legendary Kusugu Well and Goboro Minaret. It is the birthplace of dynamic leaders, brave warriors, intelligent musicians, singers, and leaders, the likes of Muhammadu Dikko, and artists like the evolutionary Alhaji Dr. Mamman Shata Katsina. It is the home of some of the nation's finest soldiers, financial wizards, and political heavyweights. This is Katsina, the home of hospitality.